Okay, so ladies, who's ready? Raise your hand if you're ready.
Text evidence that's supposed to be, like, what's so that give me some, how do I know what type of text this is? Don't know what type of text it is, and I need to have at least one paragraph, a short something that tells me what this is about. Good job, good job. I know it's nonfiction, but what is it about?
Ladies, right now, what I'm looking for, if your strategies aren't there, then I'm not going to give you feedback on the questions. So, I need to make sure that your text has strategies that explain, number one, what type of genre it is. Number two, give me what's that text about. Whether if it's fiction, then what's the strategy that you're supposed to use? If it's nonfiction, give me what it's about. Pop up. If it's fiction, what strategy are we using? Pop up.
CSCR.
Pop up. What is it?
CSCR.
CSCR. If it's fiction, then CSCR. Those are the shortcut strategies. That's where I don't have to write a whole page. I just need to come up with the basic information that helps me to understand what this text is about. So don't forget the opening question. Putting 2 more minutes on the clock, 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes on the clock. If you're ready for your papers to be checked, that means you got your strategies, you got text evidence to support your answers. Karen, go.
So, look at this question again. How is Sierra 5 like a raised earth? How is Sierra 5 like a raised earth? So, how is this word like this word? What should you do? Yes, exactly. Show me where you see that one. Show me where you see that. A raised singer and his father gaze down on a field of grain below as the sky taxi flew from the spaceport. What do you think a sky taxi is? What's a sky taxi? What's a taxi? You know what a taxi? What's a taxi? What's another name for taxi? Uber? Yeah. Uber? What else? Another name for taxi. Another name for taxi. Bus. Lyft. Lyft, Uber, what's the number? Before we had Uber and Lyft, what's a taxi? No. Before we had Uber and Lyft, what do we call taxis? Huh? Y'all don't know? A cab! A cab! Y'all know what a cab is? Yeah. A cab is a taxi. Yes. So this is not
A Uber? Somebody said a Uber.
Uber is like a taxi, it is.
But that's what we got now.
But I said, but before Uber and Lyft, I said, what was another name for taxi? So what can we say about the future of Earth is like in the passage? So what are the two things? Think about the two things that are being compared in this text. All right, who else is ready? Karen? You're good? Okay. How many people have already had a chance to have your answers looked at, either by me, Karen, or Jocelyn? Okay. So you had something else? Do not forget about that open-ended question. The open-ended question, lady, says, describe how the passage is like another science fiction story or movie you know. Remember, you gotta make connections to everything that you read. Everybody should have an answer for that question. All right, good job. Looking good so far. Looking good. Looking good.
You didn't take
Well, look like you're still writing. I can't see you blocking it.
No. Oh.
Look like you. We're not playing. This is what we're not doing. We're not having art class today. We're not having art class today. All right, girls. So using 1, 2, 3, 4 on your answer choices. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 1 How is CR5 like arrays Earth? Hold them up. Let me see what you got. 100%. Good job. Yeah. A. If you had C, 3 fingers, you're correct. Number 2. What is different about Earth in the passage compared to Earth today? Hold them up. A. Yeah. Good. Number 3. Hold them up. Good job. Number 4. Hold them up. Okay, good. 100% across the room. Papa, describe how the passage is like another science fiction story or movie you know. Describe how this is like another science fiction story or movie. Go.
Like my opinion on what
No, that open-ended question. Describe how this story, this passage, is like another science fiction story or movie that you know.
Because in the other one,
What's the other one?
okay, the one that I'm comparing it to is the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Who's seen the Guardians of the Galaxy? Good,
Because
okay.
the man is from Earth and then he travels through space in those high-tech devices.
Awesome. Boom, 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 boom. Give us some love. Boom, boom. Very good. PR.
So they use the staff member as a gorilla?
They use a what?
The staff member as a gorilla?
And so how is that like another fiction story or movie that you know?
Like, on the Planet of Apes?
What movie?
The Planet of Apes?
Planet of the Apes. How many people have seen Planet of the Apes? Good. Good job. Girls, I'm here to tell you that your job is to make connections to the text. In order for you to really understand what you're reading, you got to make connections. You cannot, well, I'll tell you this in a minute. So I'm going to read to you. Our next thing, you have your cards. Your next assignment is that you are going to write a short summary of this text. Write me a short summary about transfer to CR5. But listen to this, because this is why I know some of y'all get y'all's questions wrong. And this is how I know some of us are not being completely honest about our answers. Some of y'all have to be getting your answers from somewhere else, because your summaries, if ever I ask you to summarize what the text is about, I can tell if you know what it's about just by your response. So, summary. Ray Singer and his dad were transferred to CR5. Ray saw things that were normal on Earth until he saw that machines doing almost everything and monkeys working in the fields. Soon they got to Ray's dad's job. When they got there, one of the members was a gorilla. Does that sound like a summary of what you read? Does that sound like from everything that kind of hit them? Okay. Some people, you say yes?
That
Okay.
sounds more like
Ray and his father were going to their new home, CR5. Many things were familiar to Ray on this planet, except that monkeys did the work. They scanned the new office of Mr. Singer and compared the new planet and Earth. Thumbs up, good summary, thumbs down, or sideways, and okay. The CR5 is technology improvement. Ray and his father got the shuttle at a high-rise building. There were a lot of differences and a lot of similarities between the both planets. Ray and his father travels to another planet, but this planet was much different. They have gorillas instead of machines. Where Ray was from, they only used machines for whatever they needed. Once they got out of the shuttle, they were greeted by a gorilla that told them where to go. Good summary, or that's totally way off. Okay. Ray and his father transferred to CR5 because it was their new home. In CR5, there were so many common things they did also in Earth, but there were also many differences the planet had. Okay. Ladies, you have 4 minutes to write a summary of transfer. Now remember, when we write a summary, remember that we have to include something from the entire text, right? So if you start off from the top, as you go on, the most important things from the text. 4 minutes, go. You should have a note card from off the table. This is graded. This is your writing grade for today.